Parker.
And that's Frankie. Say hello, Frankie. And together we are the Battlehammer and Frankie, who's been super quiet right until this moment.
The minute you turn the camera on, she's like, oh, I can be the star. I'm a star.
She's a
fucking shut up, you blonde slut. So,
we're playing Cthulhu Gloom.
And why are we doing this?
Cthulhu Gloom.
Because everything's boxed up and we wanted to play something quick and simple because it's Bank Holiday Monday. We want to have a few beers, play something, but we still wanted to film for you guys because we still need to get stuff filmed. Obvs. Because we don't want to like leave you lot for weeks on end once the move happens. We're going, there's no Bama, what are we going to do? Well, there's still going to be.
If we're not there, so...
And then if you miss us, you'll
I'm sure like
stop watching.
YouTube's got some weird like nonsense. What's the word I'm thinking of?
I have no idea. Algorithms?
Algorithms. That's what I was thinking of as well. But I couldn't remember.
That's almost like we finish each other's.
So, we're playing Cthulhu Gloom.
Women.
Boom. Oh, boom, my hand exploded. Anyway.
She's just looking at you as if to say, fucking twat.
So we're playing Cthulhu Gloom. So it's Gloom, which is a game that is been around for a little while by Atlas Games, and this is the Cthulhu version. And
I believe we have played it and filmed it before for them.
I think we have. Many moons ago when the world was young and we were even younger.
No, we've always been this old. So we thought, fuck it, we'll play it again. And because it appeals to, it tickles our bits on several points. One, it's Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And two, it's a storytelling card game.
Yeah.
And as you know by now, stories are all what the Battlehammer's for.
Yes.
That and free sex, drugs and drink.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Unfortunately, all we get is none of them. So, here we go. Cthulhu Gloom. I am playing... What am I playing?
Miskatonic.
No, I'm playing it's a sanitarium.
Oh, it's Arkham Sanitarium.
The Arkham Sanitarium. So I've got Mr. Randolph Carter, Tiggerman, Dr. Willett, Henry R. Ackley, and Casilda and Camilla. Means nothing to you, it means nothing to me. Oh, Vienna!
My favourite is Henry Ackley from Whisper in Darkness, which is one of my favourite
I don't think I've read
H.P.
that one at the moment.
stories. To be honest, I haven't read any of them, but I listen to a lot of them on audiobook, which is how I absorbed my
Rats in the Wall
mostly.
still scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, man.
Scares the shit out of me.
And I did give Straw the opportunity, but one of us had to be the Innsmouth crew. So I am the village of Innsmouth.
The Innsmouth look.
The Innsmouth look. So I've got Joe Sargent, the Batrachian bus driver, Anna Tilton, the curious curator, Barnabas Marsh, the big frog about town, Pythia Iri, the marsh matriarch, and Zadok Allen, the doddering drunk.
So, the point of the game is to make all of your people very, very unhappy and kill them.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And once everybody's dead, you then top up the points that your
dead people
the mythos points that your dead people have. It sounds fairly simple, doesn't it? But
one of the cool things I was saying to Straw before we started filming was there are a lot of Cthulhu games out now that are just a game with Cthulhu slaps on the front.
Auto kill.
Yeah.
Cthulhu. What?
But actually, I really like that this has got this kind of nihilistic, everyone feels bad and dies, like, because that's Cthulhu, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I had a really good priest in Cthulhu, run by an old friend of mine called Nick.
Nick?
No, not Nick. Another Nick.
Yorkshire Nick?
No, not that Nick either. Another Nick. It's Nick Oliver. I don't know where he is these days. But he ran it, and my uber amazing priest. I remember how he ended up stark bollock naked, running around mad on the surface of the moon.
As you do.
We've
all done it. I mean, we've all done it, haven't we?
As you do. So,
we'll try to explain what we're doing as we do it.
So these are two story goals.
Yeah.
And it's the Necronomicon.
Nom.
If the family has two of the elder signs, you can take that card. This is the Call of Cthulhu. Oh, pardon me, boys. At the Call of Great Cthulhu. Woohoo! In the city of slime, where it's nighttime all of the time. If you get that one, then you're living characters count towards your score at the end of the game as...
This is actually really good.
It's a really good
I
card.
don't know what the other one does.
I don't know.
Your hand limit is increased by 1. You
Ah.
draw a card every time you play an event. And it's worth -1, -10 points.
Oh, the Necronomicon.
And minus points are good in this game.
Yeah,
You wanna
minus
do
points are
minuses.
good. You want your put good minuses on yourself, pluses on your opponent, and then kill everybody. So, go on then, fella. You start.
Okie dokie, I will then. So I can play 2 cards, or make 2 plays rather.
2 plays.
One of which could be playing a card. The other which
Shut up!
Taking one of these is an action. You can play untimely deaths only on people who have minus self-worth.
Are they untimely or are they perfectly timed?
Yeah.
But you can only play that as a
It's the
first action.
unless you've got a card that says you can do otherwise.
And the other thing I like about this game is the cards. As you can see, they're thin and plasticky because all your other ones, when you get your bits on, goes over them.
But
Think hate.
importantly, they shuffle still
Oh,
really
yeah.
well. Unless
He
you
says,
like
and then he
me.
fucks that one up.
I love the way that just they shuffle really well.
Yeah, really nice
Oh.
cards. So are there several versions of Gloom?
So there's the original version of Gloom, which is just called Gloom, which is the main game,
That's a happy game.
which is plays exactly the same, but all the families, instead of being Cthulhu related, there's like a weird circus. There's like an Addams Family style family. There's lots of that. I'm probably going to end up picking it up at some point. And there are, I think, like 4 or 5 expansions for that,
Alright.
including like houses and events and weird stuff. I've got the Cthulhu version. I do have the expansion as well, but we're not using that at the moment because we haven't played this a huge amount, so I don't want to throw the expansion in there. And that's all of the Dream Quest of Kadath stuff.
Dreamlands.
The weird stuff.
Dreamlands. So,
And there is actually a Munchkin Gloom. I don't know if there's a Munchkin Gloom or a Gloom Munchkin. I
Munchkin
can't remember which
Gloom.
way round it is.
How can you get those little things all unhappy?
I don't know.
Okay, so the Asylum versus the Innsmouth look.
No.
No.
So, to begin with, Zadok Allen. 'Twas a Shoggoth who drove him to drink. He never had the courtesy to thank it. So, Zadok Allen.
So I'm going to change that character to Parker.
Yes, the me of the game. He was wandering around in Innsmouth. You know, he knows the truth. He knows what's going on. He feels a bit bad about it. He feels a bit weird. He's not quite sure. He's had a few drinks. Unfortunately, as he's wandering down the alleyways at night, he was stalked by shadows. Or at least he thinks he was.
So playing that card on him.
So it gives him minus 25 self-worth points. Gives him a little tentacle. And the player to your left may draw and discard 1 card from your hand. Okie dokie. That's what happens to Zadok Allen.
Because on that card, if you just want to hold it up so they can quickly see it, you can see it's got a little red circle where Parker's fingers are covering. That's the, personal
It's your self-worth
score. The other guff is all on the bottom and it just goes over your card. It's as simple as that. And then you draw back up to...
No, because that was my first action.
Oh, first action.
Play.
Sorry.
Then, I imagine that at some point in the asylum, Tiggerman has found a little place to rest his head. And as he's resting his head, and yes, there's all the horrors in the asylum around him, but while he's having a little nappy nap, he's chasing a little mouse, and the mouse is running away, and he catches the mouse, and he's so happy that he dreamed of delights.
I don't want my cat to be happy.
That's a happy cat.
But I get to draw 5 cards.
Yep, and then
discard down to my draw limit, which is
5.
5. Ugh.
It's always 5 unless
1,
otherwise stated.
2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like my cat being happy. That's just wrong.
And I then draw back up to 5. 2, 3, even 4, 5.
Okay, I'm going to keep 1, 2. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5. Oh, that's a horrible card. Get rid of that and get rid of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to 5 cards. Those ones are discarded because I've got a happy kitty. Nothing worse than a happy pussy. So, over to me. Ugh. Okay. Now it's all very well, poor Tigger Man having this lovely little dream that's made him feel so happy about all of his 9 lives, and he's found the little mouse and everything. But as he's tearing it to shreds, he's looking at the internal bits that he's throwing in the air in happiness and glee, and the colouring just changes, and it's just not that normal sort of colour. It's just, you know, a curious colour that he doesn't understand.
Ooh.
Bosh, thank you very much. We're calling it Smello. Oh, yes. And then
Your draw limit is decreased by 1 now.
Yep,
While you can see that.
Yep.
So you draw up to 4.
Mm-hmm. So then, then the Whisperer in the Darkness. Oh, Henry Ackley. You know, he's obviously always been a bit weird, let's face it. He lives in the asylum and he likes wearing skin for his face. Other people's skin, that is. But it's just, as he's creeping around those halls, those dark corridors at night, it's not just him that's beginning to notice the weird things, it's other people, and they now say that every now and again he has too many tentacles.
Oh, spooky.
Whoa. So that's me play 2, 1, 2, 3. I draw 1 because I'm only on a hand of 4. Draw of 4 because of that.
Oh no, because your draw limit is decreased by 1,
Yeah.
and your draw limit is.
Oh, it's another one. So I put
so
it on
you
back.
only
Sorry.
get 3.
Put it on back, which was that one. Yes.
Okay.
But I always have the moon and the snake symbol icons.
Nice.
Which we need for other
things.
things.
Okay.
Don't get that in poker, do ya?
Stories.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say, Doc Allen, when he's walking around these nasty streets in Innsmouth at night, being stalked by these shadows that are mysterious and dark, he can hear a thudding noise whilst he's being stalked by these shadows, a flopping, a squelching, a blipping, if you will. And he thinks to himself,
It's my penis!
while he's drinking heavily and stalked by these shadows,
Wish I
he
had
thinks,
copped that
oh
one.
wow, then clearly it's just nothing. Turns out it was something. It was, in fact, a Shoggoth
No!
that crushed him to death.
Oh, and he died horribly.
He died horribly when he was crushed by a Shoggoth. Poor little bugger.
That's not a way to go, is it?
There's no way to go.
No way to go.
Meanwhile,
Back at the farm.
back at the farm on the other side of Innsmouth, there was Joe Sargent, the Batrachian bus driver, was doing he heard this thud in the distance, mildly curious as to what it was, but didn't let it faze him. Knew it couldn't be anything super amazing. And as he's driving his little bus, he's driving into Innsmouth and he can see Innsmouth in the distance, and he's like, yeah, here we go, home again, fish, fishmen.
Oh, I can smell her scampi fries from here.
Oh, that's nasty. And he comes over all faint, starting to fall asleep at the wheel. And then he can, as he regains consciousness, he can feel the crunch of the tyres as they're crunching over something. What's that? He looks at it, oh, it's chilly. They're crunching over snow. How did I get here? He doesn't know. And he went mad at the mountains.
The
Ah!
mountains of madness.
The mountains
Dun,
of
dun,
madness.
dun.
I discard my hand and I don't draw back up this turn.
Ooh. Stupid game. Okay, so.
I blame the creepy penguins.
I
I love little things
Yeah.
like
So, Tigger Man, let's face it,
that. Oh,
he's had these weird, lovely, unrealistically nice dreams. And then the weird colourings that change, it's just got to that point where it just, Dr. Whitling found him that cold Monday morning.
oh.
His heart had burst.
Oh, so sad. Poor
He-
little bugger.
He died.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
death.
Brown Jenkins found him.
Oh, poor little bugger.
He was dead. Lifeless.
Oh,
Lifeless.
sad face.
Poor kitty. Poor kitty.
2 down, 8 to go.
Yeah. But then, Randolph, the old dreamland believer, he's a strange man, that one. 1 minute he's helping you out around the asylum, next minute he just gets this look in his eye and he's like fleeing frantically for no apparent reason.
Oh, spooky.
Dun dun dun. So I now draw up to still 3.
No, you covered his thing.
He didn't have anything. though.
His thing. You covered his thing.
Oh yeah, I did.
So you draw up to 4.
Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I've got 2 actions. I can't play any cards. I can't take a story because I don't have the right things. Then draw back up to 5.
Ah.
2, honey, 3, 4.
Now it's back to me. So my first action will be to. I've got a moon and a moon. So I'm going to take the call of Cthulhu.
Dun dun
Dun dun dun. So I've got to have 2 moons.
She do.
And as the ongoing effect, any living characters count towards the family value at the end of the game.
Nice.
So, which is awesome for me. So now I just have 1 card to play. I think we're going to do something simple. Whilst Dr. Willett is a very renowned and respected doctor in his field, the death of the cat was just a little bit too much for him, and he had to take a little bit of a break, and apparently he was found digging in Dunwich. That's me done.
Okey-dokey.
Let's go back to 4 cards.
Okay. My go, right?
And the Serpent Men! Proper Cthulhu link, and people just don't understand it.
Nothing. Puthia Yai. So she's come up from Yahanethli to visit her great-grandchildren. Will it kill them, right? Well, she's visiting her great-grandchildren, and they're too busy doing other things. Because it's not cool, right?
Grandkids these
Came all
days.
the way out of the sea
Out of the sea.
to visit her grandchildren. So she's like, fuck
Under the
this.
sea.
I'm off Oop the North.
Oop north.
Oop the North.
Oop north.
I assume it's north from where I am, I'm not quite sure. So she decided to visit Vermont,
As you do.
and then bad things happened. However, Casilda and Camilla, the Carcosa's gone wild,
The King in Yellow's left the building, but he's left his groupies behind.
they clearly love some hardcore party action.
Oh fuck yeah.
So at some point they were rocking, they were rolling, and they caroused with a cultist.
Oh, dirty little sluts. Draw 1 card from the player of your left, add it to your own. The guy drinks like a fish. No, he really drinks like a fish.
And then I draw up to 5.
Well, that's not very useful, is it? So 1, 2 dead. Everything's rocking along nicely. Except for Mr. Old Barnabas Marsh.
Oh.
Now you see, the problem with being a big frog in a small pond is every now and again... I never even said that. This is every now and again, you know, you've got to do things that you don't like doing. And this is one of those times where he has to do that thing. Because entertaining an heiress just isn't what he likes to do.
Oh no. He does have to do stuff like that.
Yeah, he does. You know, it's one of them there things. So the poor twins, Casilda and Camilla, you know, they've ended up spending this wild party night with this fishman who likes to drink like a fishman. But then it just got a little bit weird, and the party sort of went down onto the old beach, and it was just them and him and it and all of some other things. It was just, but then the whole being netted by nightmares
Oh no.
was just a little bit strange, even for them.
Even for them.
So can't play events. But that's me done.
Draw back up to 4.
Yep. 3, 4.
Okay. Wow.
You start killing people.
Yeah. Joe Sargent. He's at the mountains. He's in his little bus. Doesn't know how his bus got to the mountains.
Fuck.
It's very cold in the bus now. He's not quite sure what's going on. So the bus breaks down because it's stuck in snow.
Are you used to the cold?
And he gets out and he looks around. Fortunately, there's a cave in the not too far distance, so he heads towards this cave and he travels through the snow. Very cold. Oh God, so cold. Gets in the cave and there's, I want to say, people. Well, maybe not people. Things in the cave. And there's a and these flappy penguin-like shapes that look all anemic and pasty. Just as he turns to leave, there's one there by the door, and they start pecking at him, and pecking at him, and pecking at him. And they enjoy his flesh with their pointy beaks, and he was part of the feast.
He should have picked up the penguin. Oh!
You are what they eat. Then, now, old Barnabas Marsh, he was having a strangely reasonable time with this heiress.
Was he now?
Mrs. Miggins of the Chicago Migginses. But then he realised, as he's thinking to himself, I know her from somewhere, but I don't know her. One of my previous ancestors knew her. She has clearly existed beyond time and space.
Oh!
And one of his ancestors, old Bobby Marsh, the previous Marsh, called Bobby because they float really well, takes over his mind and starts to speak for him as he was possessed from the past. Dun, dun, dun! Player to your left may draw and keep 2 cards from your hand. And now I draw back up to 5.
Oh my gosh, it's gone crazy. It's all gone mad and crazy and mad.
I love it.
Oh! Ooh, okay. Could do that.
Another one down. Another
Another
dead.
one dead. Another one dead.
Do.
The fucking
Do
killer.
fat bottom girls.
Do.
Another one for... Do you want any drinks, Jenny?
It's alright, I'll come and get it because I'm going to put it back in the fridge anyway. So.
Okay.
But thank you for remembering honestly.
We'll try to forget.
Oh.
Remember.
Okay. So they might have pecked. They might have pecked. They might have pecked.
He's dead.
They kept pecking. They kept pecking. They kept pecking, and he thought he was dead, but he managed to roll over and squirm through the blood and the mud, and he kept clawing, kept clawing, kept clawing. But then he found himself. There was no mountains. There was no bus. He was home. Somehow he managed to crawl himself through the door. Mummy! Mummy! What is it, little Timmy? There's something on the doorstep! Oh, so he's not dead. In fact, the death
character to a living
has
character.
been moved over to the Monch creature. Now you might ask why I did that. Because he had a lot of points. So now I've reopened these up so I can cancel some of them.
Yeah.
And given him 10 points, but stopped it there.
Clearly, when she went up to Vermont, she didn't just have a bad time; she had an untimely bad time.
She had a really bad time.
Oh wow!
So then, Dr. Willett, as we said, we know he's digging in Dunwich. We all know what Dunwich is. We all know what Dunwich is famous for. Things that you should not know. Things that live in the shadows.
Don't know.
Dark things. And he learned loathsome lore.
Oh, dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun, dun. Player to your left may use an event as a free play. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
I will. The stars are wrong. The stars are not
I
right.
still say 40.
Return a claimed story to the centre of the table. If you meet its requirements, you may claim it as a free play, which I do have 2 moons. So
Motherfudger.
I will have the Call of Cthulhu. Huzzah! Sac magie!
Lick your balls, I said. Hey there, monkey boy.
Okay.
Do you, Janie, asking off camera, do you have any idea what that first word actually means? Because I sure as fuck don't. And you're the intelligent one. No, okay, that's good.
I'm going to Google it.
I have to see the word.
But
You can see the word.
Right, look at the rest of it. Oh God. Matriculated.
Matriculated.
I mean, it sounds teachery, but I don't know it.
I have no idea. We would ask you a lot, but by the time you get to respond, it'll be like December.
Okay. So, Dr. Willett, he did learn this loathsome lore.
Loathsome lore digging in Dunwich.
And he did feel bad about all of these things that he'd learned.
We told him he shouldn't.
But fortunately for him, he is in Arkham Asylum.
No!
So, he spoke to some psychologists, formerly known as alienists, which they used to be known
They were
as.
called alienists.
And he was in fact analysed by alienists that helped him sort his brain out.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That's a horrible one. So, draw or discard 1 card as a free play. It seems that flabby elder god is just a metaphor for your father. Okay, I'll draw a card then.
However, Anna Tilton, she does think there's something fishy about Innsmouth. And she's having a look around, trying to find out the dirt.
The dirt.
The sea.
What's the score?
Seaweed badness. And as she looks around, something's after her. Something's following her. Something not quite human, not quite animal, not quite vegetable. She's been followed by fungi.
She picked that up from the local toilet.
I don't get
Dirty
anything
hole.
special from it, and then I draw back up to 5.
Right, not looking good here at the moment. So Whoa, it's magic. So I'm going to claim the Necronomicon. 1, 2, 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Family must have 2 stars. Your draw limit's increased by 1 card. Draw a card anytime you play an event. It's worth -10 at the end of the game.
Nice. Necronom nom nom.
Nom 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 nom.
That's the Cthulhu cookbook. Necronom nom
Nom
nom.
nom 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 nomicon. So, okay. Did you find out what that was?
Yes, it's someone who has been accepted to join a university.
Oh, they've been accepted to join a... Oh, well, have they now? Well, that's quite interesting because who's this here?
Joe Sargent on his
Joe Sargent. His trials and tribulations for Joe have been up and down. You know, he got the job at the bus driving company. He thought he was in mountains. Where did he think? What the hell's wrong with him? Then he ended up drunk and climbing through the doorstep, scaring his family apart. Only to find that as he's crawling over that doorstep in his drunken stupor, there's a letter. A letter on the floor waiting for him. It's because he's been accepted
Oh.
into the Miskatonic University.
Okay.
Was that all my cards I played? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, still on 4 cards. That wasn't an event, was it? Its events are red cards. Gotcha. I love this game.
It's good times, right?
Good game. Just purely like telling the story.
2 actions you have, no?
Yeah, I got 1 to get the
one to
book
get that,
and
yeah.
2 to say, "Oi, Joe, look on the floor, mate. Look what you've been sick on."
His life is...
Parker's got 2 dead. I've got 1 dead. Parker's got the card that means he can claim his bonuses from his life people. So it's not looking too good at the moment. But that kind of means I've got control of the game.
It's true.
Because it's all up to me. If I kill people now, then the game suddenly stops. But he still gets his bonuses from his life people, which I must destroy with fire.
I bring you to burn.
Someone said, if you do a live thing today, what's the age limit on it? And we're like,
Oh, clearly.
21 least, 21 plus, mate. Oh.
We'll be saying all of the swears.
We will be saying, bollock and cunt and wank a lot. Whilst showing pictures of Parker's naked wang wang. So,
Okay.
what
Just
is
now
occurring?
Thinking.
You've got the look.
I do have a look.
Na 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 na.
Okay.
Na 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 na.
So old Barnabas Marsh,
Into the look.
who met the heiress from his past and then was possessed by his previous ancestor.
But other people just say he was talking shit because he'd been drinking too much.
Potentially, yes.
But that's not what was happening in his head.
In his head, his mind was auto-controlled by this past event by his ancestor Bobby Marsh, and he grabbed some things, some stuff, and he started making pictures with his auto asphyxiation. No, that's the wrong thing. No, auto drawing, and he started drawing pictures of things, horrible,
Willies.
unshapely things.
Was he drawing willies?
But there was no ink, so he used his own blood. And ultimately, he passed away because he paid a price for his art. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. Shit.
Madness.
Shit.
Now, good old Joe Shabadoo, Joe Sargent. Okay, so his life
Just,
is.
you know, I should have one more card because my card is now
Yeah,
increased back up to 5.
Do it. Okay. He did feel good. He's now got a job at Miskatonic University. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know why. But he feels good about it. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go to my job at Miskatonic University.
Hold on, I never even applied.
I never even applied, but clearly something's going right for me. You know, maybe everything was a dream. Maybe it was all a bit weird. But anyway, he goes to university. He goes to Miskatonic University. Teaches some classes. Strangely, he does find this information flow through him, and he's teaching people, and they're saying, "Oh, maybe you can be involved in this thing." this bit of secret knowledge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll be involved in this secret knowledge. And he can see this shape on a table. A shape that should not be.
Joe, no!
And he reaches out.
No.
And he touches a trapezohedron. Dun dun blah.
Oh, Joe! Joe! No!
Each of the other players may draw and keep one card from your hand.
Joe! It's all going wrong for you.
Shiny! I don't know what a trapezohedron is. Sounds
a bit
weird. Draw back up to 5. Yeah, I forgot how good this game was actually. Here we go.
Okay. Stupid game, I love it. So he's touched this thing as old Joe. He's not having a good life, is Joe. He's touched this thing, and all of a sudden, the lecture hall that he was standing in, it's just gone. And he sees space swirling around him. He sees stars, nebula, and planets whizzing past of him. And all of a sudden, he just sees these weird things. And he
Probably
looks.
drives him super mental, right?
No, he just. But then he suddenly feels like, something's been. It feels like he's being minced. Like he's being minced by Mygo.
Dun dun dun.
Whew, that's one card. Oh,
So my draw limit is decreased.
Yeah.
And my badness is less.
Yeah.
Sad face.
And then I'm going to. See, every year, inmates have their birthdays, staff have their staff parties. But every year, there's always a certain time of the year when, for some apparent reason, not that anyone knows, there's always a weird festival. Dun dun dun! Festival card. So I set aside my hand and I draw 3 cards, and I must use 3 more of my family if possible as free plays, then I discard them. However, my draw limit's increased by 1 anyway, but draw a card anytime you play an event.
So you draw 1 normally.
1 from that goes into there.
And then you draw 3 that you have to play on your family,
1.
Even if they're bad things.
Even if they're bad.
Or good things.
Oh, hello. So. Ooh. No. So, poor old Dr. Willett, he's not had a fun life, has he, at the moment? You know, he went digging, it went a bit weird for him, learned some loathsome law, then he got analysed by his, those people that he thought were his peers, but obviously weren't.
His Pierce Brosnan's.
And in the end, just a simple case of, look, I need to have some more time. I need more time off. So they were like, well, okay, at the moment, it's all going okay in the sanitarium. You can't have too much time. We'll give you a week. He's like, well, that's okay, because all I want to do, I enjoyed my time at Dunwich. I really enjoyed that whole getting back to the grassroots of looking at individuals' problems. So I've heard that Innsmouth has some problems, so I'm going over there to give it a look.
No.
So,
Innsmouth look.
investigating Innsmouth. Players to the right may use a modifier as a free play. You're out of your depth, literally.
I can use a modifier as a free play. Ooh, saucy.
Banana.
Okay, so it's going to be that, I think. This is a free play.
Free play.
So
I've still got a player card.
Anna Tilton, while she was being followed by these fungi and looking around, she's done a little bit of digging, and in this room she discovered a diary. There were secrets man was not meant to know, which is why there's a tiny lock on the diary, jackass.
Okay, so I've still got to play a card from these two.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh, this is horrible. So the twins, Casilda and Camilla, you know, they're having all their fun with these cultists down on the beach, getting netted by nightmares. They thought it was all part of the fun, and it really was, until they saw the stickly star spawn.
Oh, vomit.
Discard your hand and don't draw back this turn. So I get rid of that one, and I get rid of this lot.
Yeah. And don't draw back.
I don't draw back.
No cards for you.
No cards for me. But lots of goo.
Okay. Well, Anna Tilton was reading this diary that she discovered, and the words glowed with an intense light. She couldn't make them out, written in some sort of arcane language, runes, squiggles, strange unknowable things, and they glowed brighter and brighter, and they burned themselves into her mind, and she was burned alive! Burned alive! Ah, my face! My beautiful face! Oh, God!
I take it she didn't survive.
She did not survive.
Okay, as long as we know. Well. Wellity.
Wellity indeed. Wellity indeed. Now, good old Joe Sargent, he's been through a lot. He thought he was... he has been through a hell of a lot. He thought he was...
He thought he was a bus driver at one point.
He was a bus driver at one point, and then he ended up in what he thought might have been Antarctica, but who knows where that was.
That was a
the
drink
snow
thing.
and the horror. The
penguins
pecking him to death with their faces.
Of chocolate.
Now, he touched this trapezohedra and then ended up flying through space, being minced by these Mygo. And while he's doing this, all of these things he can still feel. He can still, even though he's been minced into pieces, he can still feel, he can still touch, he can still hear horrifying howls. I may use a modifier with the squiggle icon as a free play, which I don't. It's probably just the wind, the hateful, malefic wind. And then I draw 1, 2, 3 cards.
No go for me, but I get 5 back.
No go for you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You.
Well,
It's got to be a death. Got to be a death.
it's got to be a death.
Got to
Death
kill
goes
him.
first.
And that's it. I ain't getting fuck all points out of this game.
Joe Sargent,
This-
while he heard these horrifying howls, eventually this minced part of himself just disappears into the ether as he travels through space and time, like an amoeba melting in front of himself. He wasted away. Wasted away.
Well, apparently the thing's
Wasted away.
this Saturday and Sunday.
What is? But we're here.
The 24-hour thing.
Oh, I thought it was next week.
I thought it was fucking later than that. Bollocks, what am I going to do?
I'm all dead.
Oh. Well, that's it then.
Sorry.
I get nothing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well, no, you get the... Oh, no, I've got that now.
no, you've got that now, you
Oh,
bastard.
no,
I
it's
get nothing for them. I get nothing for him. Nothing for him. I get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
And you're on like a bucket load.
I'm on some.
I bet it's more than 50, isn't it?
20, 30, 40, 50,
Yeah, alright, shut up.
70, 85, 90, 105, 115, 120, 145, 50, 150.
Think you can safely say I lost that one. But how much fun was it?
Lots of fun. Stories are good.
Oh!
Boom. It really tickles both of my Like,
Balls.
well, yeah, it tickles my story ball and it tickles my like competitive ball because you're still like working at points and trying to figure out, oh, how can I make a decent story that doesn't make that sound wank? Like, do you know what I mean? And
It
I
was
think
that fucking stealing that one back.
That
I'm
was
like, oh, you cock!
fucking dream. that
Fucking
was.
cock. Because you had like 2-3 people dead. I'm like, that's alright, I'll take that, I'll keep hold of that.
Yeah.
Then I can just like start killing you,
Mm.
and then I've got points.
Great game. Love it a lot.
Gloom. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Go play Gloom.
This is the Cthulhu version. There is a normal version of Gloom.
It's a really fun little game.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I do. I forgot how damn
Yeah,
good it
we
is.
should play this more.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of it, let us know in the comments down below.
And we will film more
We
for
will
you.
Make sure we play more, and I'll use the. I've got the expansion for it already, so that's fine. We can play that. Probably going to end up picking the normal version up as well at some point.
It's a very clever little game as well.
Yeah, I really like the whole see-through cards.
I mean, that's the first time we had played with cards that do the see-through thing.
Mm.
And then I said we got hate, and we're like, oh, yeah, see-through things, cards are a thing. Once you take the backing off of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good little game. Go play Gloom.
If you've got the look.
Tell stories.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's about stories. It's the same as we were, going back to Hate. Like, you create these kind of stories as campaigns move on, and like you find out what happens to this guy and that guy, and
So I'm looking forward to
Explain
Tainted
Joe.
Grail, because it is purely
yeah.
a whole story-driven game, and I just think that's going to be so immense. How Exploding Joe. Hello. But yeah, that's Gloom. Go play it.
Check it out on the old internet. It's Atlas Games.
Atlas
Good
Games.
times, had by all, specifically us.
Well, except for the people that died.
Oh, poor little buggers.
Poor Joe.
Poor Joe.
Joe went through a lot,
He did
didn't
go
he?
through a lot.
He did. See, it's just a
Thought
couple,
he was alright, and then like space time.
you just play. See, it's just a couple of cards you're playing. All of a sudden, you've got his whole life mapped out, and it's
Yeah.
gone fucking. I've got a dumb bus driver. It's all great. Had a few beers, driving. Why the fuck am I in mountains? Got snow. What the fuck? No, I'm home. I'm home.
And it
What do you mean
made-
I've got a job.
And in a strange way, it kind of made sense for him because somehow, like, your brain can go, well, he's travelling in a bus, so it's like weird time space. If it was just a dude who's sitting there, there's no reason for him to go there. But like say, look, Alan, has some drinks, being stalked by shadows, gets crushed by Shoggoth immediately. It's like, all right, yeah.
But there are
it
times when you
totally makes sense.
just need to do
Just need
the
to play the cards.
do the quick kill.
Love this guy. Really, really fun.
And Frankie's decided to have an epileptic fit.
Oh, you should be rough. I don't know what's 1,000 young.
Hey, enough!
We're gonna go while the dogs kill and eat. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it, or subscribe if you don't like it, don't want to subscribe, don't like it, subscribe if you like, subscribe. Until next time, stay out.
Stay